This picture is President Donald Trump, who sits at his desk after a meeting with Intel CEO Brian Krzanich, who's on the left, and members of his staff in the Oval Office of the White House in Washington.
The first thing I thought was, what's going on behind his back? There's been a kind of narrative that Bannon and Priebus and whoever, or now Jared, right, really running the show. Then is this a kind of performance of there's all these sorts of things going on behind the scenes and maybe he's not in command, but he has a lot of papers in front of him so that it might be the impression of being able to do things.
I think it's so odd that all the writing is visible, because you can actually read what's on those papers. And that seems inappropriate.
Any vaguely engaged citizen presented with a pile of papers that are meant for president's eyes would be like, oh my God, look at these amazing things. What's on them? Except for him.
He is completely disengaged in this photograph. And really knowing what we know about him, it's actually hard to believe that he has the powers of concentration that would allow him to absorb the material that's in the papers in front of him.
It looks out of control. It looks messy. And his hair looks messy, which you rarely see. I mean, I think that's one of the most frank pictures of the presidential mane I've ever seen. How many of us have little valises with keys on the side? I mean, this is power, right?
This photo caused a bit of a stir when it came out because that pouch contains classified information. I think something else about this is the looseness of the frame, and everybody behind Trump, there's a sense of movement around his stillness.
He's like a bystander to the action that's happening in the background, and all the serious work, the communication is happening behind him. I mean, he's just kind of seems to be waiting for someone to cue him to do something next.
What struck me about this photograph was the expression on his face, and I haven't quite characterized exactly what it is. It's as if he's unaware of what's going on. It's as if he's a little bored. He's not even connected to the handshaking and the sort of busyness behind him.
There's a lot of men in this picture. And I want to mark that because we see that in most of the pictures that are coming out from the White House in particular. And I keep having to remind myself, you need to keep noticing this and mentioning it because this is going to quickly become very normalized.